We have studied till now about the production function, and in production function we have studied that total product is equal to, that is Q is equal to FLK. It means total production is equal to the inputs used, the inputs that we have estimated, or we have just for our ease taken only some of the inputs like that of labor and capital, and as the inputs are going to increase, total output will also be increasing. So this is what is the equation of the production function. Now we'll be studying about, after that we have studied about short run. In the short run concept, we have studied that the fixed inputs remain fixed and the variable inputs remain can be changed, but the fixed inputs cannot be changed like land and machinery, whereas labor and raw material can be changed, which are called as variable factors in the short run. So we are going to study here only about short run concept, that is the concepts of production. So in production there are different concepts involved. So let's study about it. The first one is total product. If I'll read this definition, you'll be able to understand what is this total product. The total product refers to the total output of a commodity at a particular level, or a variable at a particular level of a variable factor input when combined with fixed factors. So this TP is the total product, or we can say the total output produced by combining the fixed as well as the variable inputs and together. In simple words, total product is the total quantity of goods and goods produced by a firm during a given period of time, okay, with the help of given inputs. That is, given inputs here means in the short run we can only change the variable inputs like that of raw material, labor, etc., combined with the fixed factor inputs. So for example, if I am going to take only 1 acre of land and I am going to employ 1 unit, second unit, third unit of labor one by one, I will change the number of workers, I will increase the workers on my land, agricultural land maybe. So this land will be remaining fixed, 1 acre of land, whereas this units of labor will keep on increasing. Why I am doing so? Because I want to increase the production. As more and more units of labor, that is variable factors, will be increased, the production is also going to increase. The same we have studied in the production function, that Q is equal to FLK. That means as more and more inputs will be increased, the production will also increase. The output can also be increased. So as the level of output is going to increase, the profit of the firm is also going to increase, and this is why the firm wants to increase more and more output, right? So for that, in the short run, only one way is there to increase the output, by increasing the variable factors, that is labor or raw material, etc. So this is what is total product. So there are two formulae here of total product. One is AR is multiplied by X1. X1 is the input used here, okay. The input which is used here, it is multiplied by it, and this is the unit of input, maybe we can take labor, and this AR is the average revenue, AP, we'll write it. AP is the average product. This is the average product that we are going to study just below this total product afterwards. So multiplication of average product with units of input will give us the answer for total product. Apart from this, in the average product, this average product is indicated by AP. What is this average product now? Achha, one more formula is there for a total product, that is PP is equal to sigma MP. That means the sum of marginal products. Total product can be calculated by adding different at different units of input, what is the marginal product. So those marginal products values are added in the total product, that we'll be studying in the numericals. Just after this we are going to do. So this formula, these two formulae, you will be able to understand in those numerical questions. So after this, just remember that total product is the total output produced with the combination of variable as well as the fixed factor input. Then we'll move on to average product. This average product AP is the is also being defined as, it is defined as the output per unit of variable input. Output per unit of variable input. This means total product, this is the output only, divided by the input. As we are taking input as labor, so units of labor is going to be written down at the bottom in the denominator side, and in the numerator there will be output, that is total product. So if we divide the total product from the units of labor, it will give us average. Average means that at every unit employed of labor, how much is the production going to take place. Okay, this is what is called as output per unit of variable input. So this is the formula for average product. After this, the third concept is also there, and it is called as marginal product. In marginal product, if we define it, then it is defined as change in total product or output per unit of change in variable input. What does this mean? Change in total product. Actually, to explain you this, if you take an example that if whenever you are watching, whenever you are walking in sunlight, then one more person is moving with you, and that is your shadow. Whatever type of action you are going to take, same your shadow is going to do. Same is the function of this marginal product. That means whatever change is going to be taking place in the total product, that change will be shown by marginal product. Understood? So marginal product is going to tell us how much change has occurred in the total product at every different levels of input, right? So this will be going to understand by one formula here. This formula is MP is equal to total product N. N is the units of labor or units of variable factor, minus total product N minus 1. So units of labor minus 1. So this will also be doing just now after this. In the numerical question, you will be able to understand that how this formula is going to be used in the numerical question. So after this, one more formula is there of marginal product, that is equal to delta total product upon delta x1. Delta means change. So change in total product divided by change in units of variable input, maybe labor. So when are we going to use this second formula, and when are we going to use the first formula? So I'll be telling you here only before the numerical questions are going to start. This first formula TPN minus 1, this formula is going to be used when the numbers or units of labor, the change in the units of labor is going to be at consecutive level. That means for example, I am going to say units of labor is in whole number, directly speaking, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so in this case, when units of labor are having equal jumps like this, then you will be taking this formula for calculating marginal product. But if the units of labor is going to have some gaps in the values, then you will be using this MP formula for marginal product formula. Like for example, units of labor is given to you as 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. There is a gap of 10. There are equal jumps. And then in this case, we are going to use this second formula. Change in total product divided by change in variable factor. So this also will be doing in the question that we are going to do after this. So here you can see the table in which we are going to calculate average product and marginal product. And in this table you will see that units of labor that we were taking as x1, I have written down there x1 here. And after this you will see that I have taken this units of labor as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and after this like in a whole number, and total product is given to you as 0, 2, 5, 9, 12, 14. So I will explain you here what will happen. At 0 unit of labor, you will see that the total product is also 0. Actually, the reason behind is this, that whenever any unit of input, any particular input is going to be removed, then the production is not going to take place. Say for example, maybe if the workers are removed, there is plant, machinery, everything there in the firm, but workers are not there. So how are the machines going to run? There will be no production taking place. And that is why when labor is 0 units, then total product, that is output, will be also 0. Right? Apart from this, now if we will calculate this average product. Average product formula, we know that it is total product upon units of input. So we'll divide it. So we'll get 0 here also and 0 here also. That is nil, we can take. And after this, when we divide 2 from 1, we'll get the answer as 2. So average product at 1 unit of labor is equal to 2. Similarly, we'll divide 5 by 2 and we'll get 2.5, and 9 from 3, we'll get 3, again 3, and then we'll divide 14 by 5. It will give us 2.8 answer. So in this way we get the values of average product 0, 2, 2.5, 3, 3 and 2.8. Clear? Now if we take marginal product here, let us say that at 3 units of labor, how much will be the marginal product? Let's find it out. So we'll use the formula that we have already written down just now of marginal product. It is MP is equal to TPN minus TPN minus 1. Here N we are taking as 3 units of labor. I have taken 3, and TP will be equal to 3 minus TP2, because when I am going to subtract 3 from 1, 3 minus 1, I will get answer as 2. So total product at 3rd unit of labor and total product at 2nd level of labor. How much it is? You will see at 3rd unit of labor, total product is 9. I will write it here 9 minus at 2 units of labor, total product is 5. So I will write it here 5 and I will get the answer as 4. So I have got the answer 4 here. Clear? So this is how we use the formula TPN minus TPN minus 1 and we get the answer as 4. So this is one of the way. One more way is there to calculate this marginal product, and it is very simple, and that way is we can subtract total product from its values given above. Like for example, I subtract 2 from 0, I will subtract 2 from 0, I will get the answer as 2. Then from 5, I will subtract 2, I will get the answer as 3. And similarly, when I am going to subtract 9 from 5, I will get the answer as 4. So you can see we have calculated the answer 4 here, and from this way also we are getting the same answer. And after that, after subtracting 12 from 9, we will get answer as 3 and then 2. So this is how we can calculate marginal product. Clear? So from this level, all the 4 different concepts can be calculated. Now say for example, if you another question is given to you like this, that labor is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and marginal product is given to you this time, that is 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. How can you calculate total product and average product? So to find out average product, first of all we have to calculate total product, right? And the total product formula, as we know, it is sigma TP is equal to sigma MP, that is sum of marginal products. This formula we have already written down in our definition at that time. So TP is equal to sigma MP, sum of marginal products. So how can you be able to calculate this total product? Let's start calculating it. So to calculate this total product, first of all what we have to do, we have to see that at 1 unit of labor, marginal product is 2 units. So remember, at 1 unit of labor, marginal product, average product and total product, they all are same. You can see in the previous example also, always they are same. Okay, so directly we will write 2 at 1 unit of labor. Why is it this same? The values are same because at zero level of input, variable input, that is labor, total product will be 0. So when we subtract 2 from 0, we'll get marginal product as 2, and that is why the values are same at 1 unit of labor, 2 and 2, right? Now how to calculate this total product? We'll add the values in zigzag way. Zigzag way means we'll add this 3 with 2 and we'll get the answer as 5, right? We'll add this 3 with 2 and we'll get the answer as 5. Then again we'll add 4 with 5 and we'll get the answer as 9. Similarly, this 9 will be then added to 3 and we'll get the answer as 12, and this 12 will be added with 2 and we'll get the answer as 14. So in this zigzag way, we'll start adding up the values of marginal product, right? And to calculate average product, what we'll do, we'll divide the values of total product from units of labor, that is 2 divided by 1 will give us 2, 2.5 and 3 and 3, and after that 2.8. So in this way you will get the answer as you will get the values of average product, right? So 9 divided by 3, 3, 12 divided by 4, 3 and 14 divided by 5, 2.8. So in this way we can calculate total product when the values of marginal product are given to us.